Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon, and I'm back again with another book review. This one is entitled Mercury, a intimate biography of Freddie Mercury by Leslie Ann Jones. And Mrs. Jones actually had contact with Mr. Mercury, which actually is not his real name. His real name was Farouk Balsara. And of course, Freddie, that appellation was given to him when he was in school because a lot of the teachers found his name difficult to pronounce, so it stuck. As well as Bucky, because of his teeth. He had a tremendous overbite, and whenever he was photographed, he did like to smile, but he was really self-conscious about it. So in a lot of pictures, you see him covering up his smile. It seems that he was kind of a diva, but he was a wonderful person to be around, according to his family. And he actually didn't like being on stage. He had to become a completely different person, and there was a going rumor as to how he chose Mercury for his surname, but no two people know the right legend to the tale because they're all different. But from the movie, we get a pretty intimate portrait of him and his Zoroastrianism, and I always thought that was very interesting, and I think he embodied those tenets of Zoroastrianism. And Zoroastrianists, they believe that there's an afterlife, so apparently he believed in an afterlife too, but he converted to Christianity before he died. But for the longest time, he actually struggled with his sexuality, which in the movie, it hints upon that, but it doesn't delve into it like Mrs. Jones's book does so elaborately, and it's extremely well written. I was absolutely fascinated. I love the photos in it. I kind of feel, and I know this sounds weird, I never knew Farouk myself, but I just feel like he was a member of my family just because I love the music of Queen. I always have. It's very personal to me. Just because Mom got me into Queen, for one thing. I fell in love with the music. I've always been a Queen fan after that. And of course, I will never forget his final performance. And he made up for a debacle where he was on a bender of cocaine and this hedonistic romp of sex. And a lot of the time when, according to Leslie Ann, he often engaged in relationships where it was loveless sex. It wasn't so much the sex itself or the act, but just the intimacy of having somebody nearby with him. And he was very lavish with the people that he actually let in to become intimate with him. He was a true lover, and it's interesting that he really didn't come to terms with his homosexuality until much later, when he met the man who changed his life. And I always thought it was interesting. I always knew this story, and I remember reading it somewhere, but he changed his look quite a bit from just the floppy fringy hair to the buzz cut and the mustache. And he had seen the different singers of Village People, and of course it was the biker. He liked the look. He thought, yeah, I could use that. So he lovingly stole it for lack of better terminology. If you're a fan like me and you're saddened that he's no longer with us, of course I am. When I heard he died, it was exactly the same as when David Bowie died and when Alan Rickman died, although Alan Rickman is a completely different entertainer. He's an actor, but still, I felt like these people were part of my family. It also happened with I don't think Bert's with. I think Burt Reynolds died. Was it Tom Selleck? No, it was Burt Reynolds. Yeah, I felt really sad when Burt Reynolds died as well, and then most recently Doris Day, which was like with Freddy, somebody who enveloped my whole childhood and the good warm fuzzy feelings that I had with my mom, and I'll never forget it. It's like yesterday, and I'm trying not to get emotional. But she used to take me to Noble Romans, and they had a jukebox there, and she knew that. I mean, I love a lot of music, but they had Queen's double-sided "We Will Rock You" and "We Are the Champions," which I love both immensely, and I'm also a sports fan. So again, it's something that just speaks to me on a very deep level, especially "We Are the Champions," because I love "We Are the Champions." Um, but it just, I remember singing that, banging on the table, just having a time, just having a blast. And once I heard about him dying, I just, it was a shock to my system. It was just exactly like somebody in my family had died. So yeah, it really took a lot out of me. I was crushed, and I was devastated for a long time. And of course, the closest I had to that kind of devastation the last time was when Stephen Hawking died. But I really think that Farouk is a testament to rock. I mean, he really knew what it was to rock. He was fantastically talented, and he wanted to keep all of his teeth just due to the fact that it gave him more range. So hey, I mean, don't knock it, flaunt it, baby, flaunt it. I mean, he was a trailblazer, and I think that's just phenomenal. And it also explained the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody, which was the longest song ever played. It broke a record. Of course, there are no songs like this except if you count Tangerine Dream, which no one ever seems to do. But needless to say, let's not get into any kind of debacle about that. But going back to original topic at hand, Mrs. Jones actually discussed with, I forget who, I think it was somebody in the band. Yeah, it was somebody in the band that she had interviewed. And this particular person, I forget who it was, they said Bohemian Rhapsody was Freddie's coming out song, because the lyrics actually explain how he has basically killed the man that he was, and he is somebody new. And of course, there are a lot of lyrics that were really quite brilliant in discussing just different figures of math and science and art, and theater, and mashing it all into one rock opera, basically. And it stands the test of time. And it's one of those songs that you could play it now and it hasn't lost anything due to when it was actually recorded versus today. I really don't have that much else to say about the book itself, other than it's just absolutely fascinating. I was completely engrossed in just Farouk's story, and it's a pity I didn't get a chance to meet him. I'm gonna meet him in heaven, I guess, and just ask him questions and hopefully play guitar with him, because I think that would be amazing. I'll play bass. Yeah, he's definitely one of my idols. But that's all I have to say about Mercury. And it's definitely, I love Bohemian Rhapsody, don't get me wrong. There was actually another movie with Sacha Baron Cohen, and I haven't seen that one. I don't even know if that one was even made because I would have remembered it if it had. If I had, I probably would have seen it because I'm obsessed. But I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody was spectacular, as you know from my review, but it didn't really go into the nitty gritty like this biography does, and I can't give it more kudos than what I am doing now. Two thumbs way, way, way up. It is absolutely spectacular, and that's basically all I have to say for now. So, long prosper. Ciao, Susie.